Get quite used to it in Germany.
One just can't get away from noise, can one?
At Whipsnade Zoo, they've had a happy event. A baby born to Belinda, wife of Henry the hippopotamus. Belinda and Henry have had lots of babies before, so there's no likelihood of the couple getting a free transistor radio. Mummy is a pretty 19-year-old weighing 3 tons. Baby, they haven't named it yet, is a bouncing 7-stoner. Just 3 weeks old, still wet behind the ears. 8 nations showing the flag wagging at Arezzo in Tuscany. It's the very first Olympics in this extraordinary sport, a sport which is a mixture of medieval tradition and international competition. In case you thought a flag was just for waving, here are some suggestions from the Italians who excel in the art. The 50th anniversary of the 1917 revolution is celebrated with the first big Soviet air show for 6 years. And it draws a crowd of 500,000 Muscovites. A crowd in the sky, too, as 1,000 paratroops drop simultaneously from 39 AN-12 transport aircraft. Giant transport helicopters are a Soviet speciality. This jet's a vertical takeoff and landing type. We don't know if it's experimental or fully developed as an interceptor fighter. Lots of noise from the rocket-assisted takeoff of this Sukhoi fighter bomber. Another supersonic bomber is escorted by a formation of MiG-21s. Sukhois show its formation flying similar to that of our own Red Arrows. An intriguing glimpse of Russia's military air potential filmed for Movietone under Moscow's skies. A new pool at Reading, Berkshire, costing over £300,000, and a bang up-to-the-minute style for the girl attendants. Miniskirts, 8 inches above the knee, apart from being an attraction for the customers, have a very practical purpose. The girls, all qualified lifesavers, may have to dive in to rescue somebody. Miniskirts are far less cumbersome in the water than long skirts or trousers. Nine attendants armed with spear guns was the order of the day for Linda McGill's attempt on the record for swimming Sydney Harbour. It's 7 miles across, and the skin divers were there to keep an eye out for sharks. The record is 3 hours, 55 minutes, set by Mary Revell of the United States. But Linda, who swam for Australia in the Olympics, is undismayed. Just a little annoyed when a persistent shark forced her escort to take action and delayed her attempt. Eventually, Linda went on to clip 70 minutes off the record, swimming the 7 miles in 2 hours, 45 minutes. She regards it as a mild warm-up for an attempt on the English Channel next month. Her previous attempt was spoiled by chafing straps on her swimsuit. She says this time she may well be forced to swim in the nude. That should attract more than sharks. This is Movietone. Leslie Mitchell reporting. Long live free Quebec. With those words, President de Gaulle has made one of the most incomprehensible diplomatic blunders of any current politician, let alone leading world statesman. By openly encouraging the French-Canadian separatists in Quebec, he's lost the respect of Canadians and Americans, while Frenchmen can only feel perplexity and sadness. At 76, we can allow him a certain eccentricity. But how long can France maintain her faith in a leader who appears to have become so strangely unpredictable? Cornwall, where survivors of the Torrey Canyon disaster are still undergoing treatment. These gulls are some of the thousands of seabirds rescued when oil from the wrecked tanker contaminated the coastline for miles around. Some guillemots at a bird sanctuary near St. Agnes. There's some anxiety over the future of these creatures. 5,500 were rescued. Some naturalists say that when they're released, they'll starve because they no longer know how to catch their food. Nature lovers everywhere are watching the outcome with considerable interest. Royal International Horse Show, White City. Competing for the most coveted ladies' prize, the Queen Elizabeth II Cup, the reigning champion, Althea Roger-Smith. Riding Havana Royal, she was placed third. Behind that cigarette holder, Princess Margaret. Beside her, Princess Anne. Second for this top ladies' trophy, Pamela Harrison on Park Lane. Only 4 competitors in this final jump-off against the clock. And the winner, Betty Genoway on Grey Lake. Clear round the 8-fence course in 53.8 seconds. On behalf of her mother, Princess Anne does the honours. The most important show jumping trophy for men, the top prize in the whole world, is the King George V Gold Cup. O'Malley and Harvey Smith went first in the final jump-off. Harvey had broken all records by winning 4 of the major prizes already, but his eventual placing here was third, behind national champion David Broome and Mr. Softy. David has won this trophy twice before, but a hat-trick was not to be, all because of the Olympic bronze medalists at Tokyo, Peter Robeson and Firecrest. They went round in faultless form to give Peter Robeson his first George V Cup. Peter's been riding in this event over 2 decades. High time his effort was rewarded. Princess Margaret presents the trophy. Road safety is always in the news, and a year from now the Ministry of Transport will be testing all heavy transport vehicles such as this. On the 68-point test list, a steering check is the priority. In the war against dazzle, this lighting test. Brakes are tested for adequate reaction, equality of braking and smoothness, and tyres are checked for grip both with and without. This is the kind of 60-minute test that will be made at testing stations throughout Britain starting in July next year. So it's time you transport operators started to brush off the cobwebs. A new section of autoroute connecting the St. Gothard Pass in Switzerland with the road to Italy. Just opened to the public, it's a £6 million proposition, and that means a cost of £1,100,000 a mile. Slightly more expensive than a British motorway.